Hello, my name is Kyle Malter, and I'm currently working in the lab of Dr. Nicholas Shikuma. And I'm going to talk to you guys today about bacterial influences on the central dogma. So the central dogma is how cells essentially build their house. If the cells are a house, how that house gets built is through the central dogma. So we all know that the DNA is the blueprint of the cell. And this DNA gives rise to RNA. And this RNA acts as the contractor. So this contractor is guiding the carpenters, which are these ribosomes, to make the house. And the house is made up of these proteins. So these are the functional units of the house, and essentially the framework for what the house sits on. So proteins here, so you have your proteins, make up most of the cell contents. And they have a lot of different functions, but one of their major functions is as enzymes. So these are going to break down food or catalyze reactions to make energy. Do a lot of different chemical reactions to make different small molecules within your cell that can function. Another thing proteins can do is provide structure. So they can be the foundation of the house, right? So we know that cells have these fluid membranes that are constantly moving, and in order to keep them stable and intact, you have this structure that can be made from these proteins. And one thing I study specifically is the signaling that these proteins can provide. Sorry. And so we know that proteins can signal to the cell, and most cells have one function. So most cells are made, especially in multicellular organisms. Each cell is produced and has one function that it's going to do, and it's rarely going to deviate from that function. However, in my studies, we're looking at how bacteria can influence that one cell's function. So we're looking at a syringe-like structure that bacteria produce, and they actually inject a protein inside the cell. So you have your protein, and it alters this entire pathway. So we know this pathway goes from blueprint to the house, your proteins. However, we're just finding out that bacteria can actually do this whole thing and signal in the reverse way. And so this is just one way that's really cool how bacteria can influence the central dogma. Thank you.
Thanks for watching another presentation here at the science class. If you want to know more about the research that you just heard about, check the video description below for a link to that lab's website. And if you want to see more presentations like this in the future, you can subscribe to us by clicking this button here. Thanks very much.